She might never say it out loud, but her body keeps telling the truth. Notice the signs, act like a man who's calm, and she won't just like you. She'll start thinking about you every hour of her day. Most guys get stuck listening to words. She says, I'm fine. They believe it. But attraction lives in tiny, nervous moves and the things she can't plan. Today, I'll show you 7 clear signs she's ually attracted and, more importantly, the exact tone and moves that turn that pull into obsession without looking needy or creepy. Keep it respectful, always read consent, but know this, desire starts in the body and becomes obsession in the mind. Let's go. 1, her eyes search you like a habit. They say the eyes never lie, and that's true, especially when it comes to attraction. You can fake a smile, you can pretend with your words, but your eyes always betray what's going on deep inside. When a woman feels that say you'll pull toward you, her eyes will tell you everything before her lips ever do. Most men miss it because they're too busy talking or overthinking, but if you slow down and just watch, you'll see it plain as day. Picture this. You're at a gathering, music playing, conversations buzzing. Across the room, she keeps glancing your way. Not just once, not just twice, but over and over. She catches your eyes, holds them a little too long, then looks away like she wasn't just caught. That flicker of nervousness, that's not random, that's attraction showing its face. Sometimes it's softer. When she's talking to you, her eyes linger on your lips as you speak. It's almost like she's imagining the kiss before it ever happens. She may even blink slower, or her pupils widen when you lock eyes. Her body reacts before her mind even has the chance to cover it up. But here's where most guys destroy the spark. They see that look and jump in head first. They start smiling too much, talking too fast, overcompensating like they need to seal the deal. Wrong move. You don't need to chase the look. You don't need to act like a starving man who just saw food. That kills the mystery, and mystery is the fuel of obsession. Instead, when you notice her eyes on you, stay calm, hold her gaze just a little longer than usual, not like a creep staring, but with steady confidence. Then look away as if it didn't shake you. That small move tells her, I see you and I'm not begging for it. That confidence is magnetic. It makes her wonder, why doesn't he react like every other guy? That question stays with her. And once she starts questioning, she starts thinking. Here's the truth. Her eyes are her biggest giveaway. A polite smile means nothing. Words can be polite too, but the eyes, they're primal. A woman doesn't lock onto a man she feels nothing for. Her instincts guide her gaze toward what excites her. If she's staring, glancing, or finding excuses to look, she's already feeling something. Your role is simple. Don't rush. Don't break the tension. Let the silence between those stares grow thick. That's when her imagination runs wild. She'll think about you later when you're not even there. And that's how attraction becomes obsession. Not by you chasing her eyes, but by letting her eyes chase you. 2. Her body closes the distance. Attraction is rarely spoken out loud. She won't come up and announce, I'm into you. But her body, it will start moving closer, almost without her realizing it. Humans are wired this way. When we feel pulled towards someone, we naturally shrink the space between us. A woman who feels a sexual attraction will use her body like a compass, pointing straight at you. Think about it. You're sitting in a group setting, everyone's talking, laughing, and then you notice her knees, her shoulders, even her feet, they're angled toward you. She's not even speaking to you directly, but her whole posture betrays her. That's her subconscious saying, I want to be near him. Most men miss this because they think it's just coincidence, but pay attention and you'll see. Bodies don't lie. Sometimes it's even more obvious. She'll lean in when you talk, even though she can hear perfectly fine. She'll brush her hair back in your presence, adjusting her clothes or fidgeting with jewelry. Those are signs of nervous energy. Desire creates tension, and tension has to come out somehow. Playing with hair, touching her neck, fiddling with her sleeve. It's her way of releasing that buildup. And then there's physical contact. Maybe she brushes your arm when she laughs. Maybe her knee taps yours and she doesn't move away. Or maybe she finds small excuses to touch you. Oh, you've got something here. And then gently brushes your shirt. None of that is random. A woman who feels nothing will avoid physical closeness. A woman who feels desire will close the gap without thinking. But here's where men mess up. They notice the closeness and they pounce. They lean in too much. They grab her hand too early, or they start smothering her with touch. That kills the spark immediately. Why? Because attraction is like a fire. It grows with oxygen and patience, not by dumping gasoline all over it. If you rush, it feels forced. If you let it breathe, it feels natural. The right move? Match her energy, but don't push further. If she leans in, you stay put. Let her do the work of coming closer. If she brushes your arm, you let it happen. You smile, but you don't grab her. That self-control drives her crazy. It makes her think, why isn't he rushing? Why does it feel like he's letting me chase him? And that's exactly what you want. Her mind spinning, because obsession doesn't grow when you throw yourself at her. It grows when she keeps leaning in, keeps brushing against you, keeps feeling that tension but can't quite satisfy it. That's what makes her think of you long after the moment ends. So remember this. If her body keeps finding its way closer to yours, it's not an accident. It's attraction trying to pull you in. Stay calm, stay steady. Let her body close the distance, and her mind will do the rest. 3. Her voice changes around you. Most guys don't even notice this one because they're too focused on what to say next. But if you stop and really listen, you'll hear it. Her voice shifts when she's into you. It's subtle, but it's powerful. A woman might talk normally with her friends, casual, flat, maybe even a bit monotone. But when she's talking to a man she feels drawn to, her tone changes. Sometimes her pitch softens. It gets warmer, smoother, almost like she's trying to wrap you in it. Other times it goes the opposite way. Quicker, a little higher, maybe even shaky. That nervous energy is just another mask for desire. The truth is, when she feels attraction, her body responds before she can think about it. And her voice is one of the first giveaways. Here's something to notice. How often does she laugh with you compared to others? If she's giggling at things that weren't even that funny, it's not about the joke, it's about you. Laughter is her way of showing interest, of keeping the energy playful. And pay close attention to the way she says your name. A woman who's drawn to you won't just use your name as a label. She'll play with it, stretch it, let it linger. It's almost like she enjoys the sound of it leaving her lips. I remember this girl once who would say my name with this soft drawl. It wasn't anything dramatic, but every time she said it, it felt loaded with meaning. Later, she admitted she did it without even realizing. That's the point. It's instinct, not strategy. But here's where men kill it. They hear her laugh or they hear her voice soften and they immediately push harder. They overjoke, they talk too much, they try to lock in her attention. Wrong move. The magic is not in making her react. It's in letting her react and staying calm about it. The best thing you can do is keep your composure. When her voice softens, you keep yours steady, calm, maybe even lower. That contrast is intoxicating. It makes her feel like she's leaning in while you're holding the frame. If she's nervous and fast, you slow down. If she's soft and warm, you keep that cool balance. That rhythm tells her you're in control without needing to say it. And here's why it matters. Every time she laughs around you, every time she hears herself soften, she's subconsciously associating that good feeling with you. It's a loop. Her emotions tie to your presence. That's how attraction turns into obsession. Because later, when she's alone, she'll replay your conversations in her head. She'll remember how she sounded around you, how she felt lighter, different, and she'll want that again. So don't just listen to her words. Listen to her tone. Her voice is a doorway. Walk through it slowly, and she'll keep pulling you in. 4. She finds small reasons to be near you. Attraction is revealed in effort. A woman who feels nothing won't waste her time. But a woman who's drawn to you, she'll find excuses to be in your space. Sometimes it's obvious. She shows up where you are. Other times it's subtle. She drags out conversations, asking questions that don't even matter, just to keep you there. Picture this. You're at the gym, you've finished your set, and suddenly she's at the water cooler at the exact same time. Later, she's stretching near your corner, even though the space was empty a second ago. Coincidence? Maybe once. But when it keeps happening, that's attraction pulling her in. Sometimes she'll invent little topics. Oh, what brand is that shirt? Or, do you know what time this place closes? Questions she could Google in 2 seconds, but she'd rather ask you. Why? Because she wants interaction. She doesn't want the moment to end. And here's where most guys trip up. They see her effort and immediately flood her with attention. They overtalk, over-explain, try too hard to entertain. That smothers the spark. Because her showing up isn't an invitation for you to chase. It's her testing to see if you'll hold steady while she comes closer. The right move? Be present, be calm, but don't overdo it. If she lingers after a group conversation, let her. If she shows up around you, acknowledge her, but keep your composure. When she invests time, she's already moving toward you. You don't need to drag her faster. And here's the psychology. The more she chooses to be near you, the more her brain justifies it. She starts telling herself, why do I always want to be around him? What is it about him? That self-questioning plants the seed of obsession, because it's not you telling her she wants you, it's her realizing it on her own. I once knew a girl who started showing up at the same cafe I worked from. At first, I thought it was random, but then I noticed she always managed to grab the table near mine, always stretched out the time, always asked a small question before leaving. Eventually, it became obvious. It wasn't coffee she wanted, it was presence. Your job is to make that presence worth it. Be the calm, grounded guy she can orbit around. Don't force it. Don't chase it. Just live and let her drift closer. The more she invests her time and energy into being near you, the stronger the bond grows in her mind. Attraction isn't about chasing her down. It's about her realizing she doesn't want to leave your space. That's when you've already won. 5. Quiet jealousy slips out. Jealousy is one of the strongest signs a woman is invested. A woman who doesn't care about you won't bat an eye if you talk to someone else. But if she feels attraction, even if she tries to hide it, that little spark of jealousy will show. And once you learn to see it, you'll never miss it again. Watch what happens when other women are near you. Does she suddenly get quiet, watching carefully? Does her tone change when she asks, "So, who was that?" Or, "You two are close?" She may laugh it off, act casual, but her eyes will give her away. Sometimes it's subtle. She'll tease you about another girl, pretending it's a joke, but really it's her way of testing. Other times she'll get playful, trying to outshine the woman you're talking to. That little competitiveness isn't random. It's desire trying to claim its spot. I remember once being at a dinner, talking casually with a friend. The girl I was seeing leaned over later and joked, "Wow, you two seem to have a lot to talk about." She said it lightly, but her look said everything. That wasn't just curiosity. That was her staking ground. Now here's where men ruin it. They notice jealousy and rush to reassure. They say things like, no, I'm only into you." Or they over-explain, "She's just a friend, don't worry." That kills the tension. That makes you predictable. The better move? Stay calm. Smile, change the subject, maybe even tease lightly without confirming too much. Let her sit with that little bit of uncertainty, because uncertainty builds attraction. When she's unsure where she stands, her desire increases. She wants to secure her place, and that keeps her invested. Of course, don't play games or try to make her insecure on purpose. That's unhealthy. But if her jealousy shows naturally, let it breathe. Don't rush to wipe it away. Let her feel it. Because here's the truth. If she's jealous, she cares. If she doesn't care, there's no attraction. Think of jealousy as proof of investment. It means her emotions are engaged. And once emotions are tied up, obsession follows. The more she feels like she doesn't want to lose your attention, the more she'll fight to keep it. So when that quiet jealousy slips out, don't panic, don't overcompensate, just hold steady. Because in that moment, she's not just attracted, she's hooked. 6, she opens up and shares personal things. Attraction isn't only about looks or touch. When a woman feels drawn to you, she wants to connect deeper. And one of the biggest signs of this is when she starts opening up. Instead of keeping things casual, she begins sharing her thoughts, her fears, her little secrets. That's not random. That's her saying, "I feel safe with you." Think about it. Most people keep their guard up in everyday life. We talk about the weather, our jobs, surface level stuff. But when she starts saying things like, "I don't usually tell people this, or "I feel like I can be myself around you," that's attraction mixing with trust. I once knew a girl who seemed playful at first, always joking. But after a few weeks, she started telling me about her family struggles. She admitted things she'd never told her closest friends. That moment shifted everything, because her opening up wasn't just about conversation. It was about connection. When she's attracted, she wants to pull you into her world. She'll ask deeper questions too. What makes you happy? What do you really want in life? That's not small talk. That's intimacy forming. Here's the mistake men make. They hear her sharing and think it's time to dump their entire life story, or they try to impress her with dramatic tales. That ruins the flow. What you need to do is listen. Be present. Give her space to talk. When you share, do it simply with confidence without overexposing. Let her feel like she's slowly unlocking you. That slow reveal keeps her engaged. And here's why it matters. The more she shares with you, the more emotionally invested she becomes. Every time she reveals something personal, she's tying a piece of herself to you. And the more invested she feels, the harder it is for her to walk away. That's the bridge from attraction to attachment, and attachment is the root of obsession. So when she begins sharing personal things, don't take it lightly. Recognize it for what it is. A sign her attraction is real and growing. Respect it. Handle it with calmness, because once her emotions are tied up in you, she's not just attracted, she's hooked. 7, she mirrors your energy and behavior. One of the clearest signs of attraction is mirroring. When we like someone, our bodies naturally copy their movements, words, even energy. It's subconscious. A woman who's into you will start syncing with you without even realizing it. Watch closely. You lean back, she leans back. You take a sip of your drink, she reaches for hers. You cross your arms, she shifts in a similar way seconds later. These little echoes aren't coincidences. They're her body aligning with yours. Sometimes it shows in speech. She starts picking up your phrases, using your slang, or laughing in rhythm with you. That's chemistry. It's her subconscious saying, I want to be in sync with him. I remember being on a date once where I noticed this in action. I leaned my chin on my hand, and seconds later, she did the same. I took a slow sip, and almost instantly, she followed. Once you spot it, it's impossible to unsee. Now, here's the key. Don't overreact. Most men get excited thinking, yes, she's into me, and then they rush, overcompliment, or escalate too quickly. That ruins the natural flow. The right move is to let it keep happening. Stay calm, keep leading, and let her follow. Because here's the psychology. The longer she mirrors you, the deeper the bond grows in her mind. Her body is literally training itself to feel connected to you. And the more she feels in sync, the more she convinces herself that being around you just feels right. That's the seed of obsession. When she feels like you're in rhythm, when her body echoes yours without thought, she starts to crave that harmony. And once she craves it, she'll keep chasing it. So remember, attraction isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's silent in the way she shifts, sips, or laughs. If she's mirroring you, she's not just showing interest, she's aligning with you. And alignment is what makes her not just want you, but obsess over you. Now that you've seen all 7 signs, here's the truth. Attraction isn't about luck, looks, or how much you chase her. It's about awareness. Most men miss the signals because they're too busy talking, too busy trying to impress, or too nervous to stay calm. But the man who notices, he wins without chasing. Her eyes will betray her before her mouth does. Her body will close the distance even if she doesn't plan it. Her voice will soften or quicken because desire leaks into her tone. She'll invent reasons to be near you, showing effort without admitting why. Quiet jealousy will slip through her words no matter how much she tries to hide it. She'll open up and give you personal pieces of herself, testing if you can hold them with care. And finally, she'll mirror your energy, syncing with you without even thinking about it. These are not random. They're instinct. When you see them, understand she's already feeling something. Your job isn't to chase, smother, or overreact. Your job is to stay steady. To be the man who doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, and doesn't lose himself the moment a woman shows interest. And here's the bigger secret. Attraction is just the spark. Obsession is when she keeps thinking about you after you've left. Obsession is when she checks her phone hoping for your name. Obsession is when she compares every other guy to you and none of them measure up. That doesn't come from chasing her. That comes from being the man who doesn't need to chase. Confidence, calmness, and presence, these are what feed her desire. When you stay grounded, you give her space to lean in, to wonder, to invest. And the more she invests, the deeper she falls. So next time you're around a woman and you notice one of these signs, don't panic, don't rush. Just observe, stay composed, and let her attraction breathe. Because the difference between an average guy and the man she obsesses over isn't looks, money, or lines. It's awareness, patience, and the strength to hold the frame. Remember this, women don't obsess over the man who chases them. They obsess over the man who makes them chase. So now you know the 7 signs she's not just into you, but suckily attracted. Don't ignore them. Don't chase. Just hold steady and let her attraction turn into obsession. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, which of these signs have you noticed before? I read every comment, and I'd love to know your stories. And remember, attraction is instinct, but obsession is earned.